A few days ago, GW3 was announced and it will take place in the land of Orr, 1200 years before the events of Guild Wars 1. What an unexpected setting for me, but I really like it. It's very, very interesting. The human gods were still around. It is even shortly before the Exodus. The city itself is, or the country itself is not destroyed yet. So I was wondering, are there any hints and information in Guild Wars 2 about the life in Orr and how everything might have looked and felt like? Yeah, the trailer has a very magical, wizardry kind of vibe, and actually what I want to show you in this video today really fits to that impression, so let's go in. First we are at Melkor's Leap, at the shelter docks. Here are 3 Orrian history scrolls, and the one on the right side is the most interesting for us. There are 2 scrolls in the pile. One's a merchant's travel journal entitled Everyday Magic in Orr, and the other a research paper with the heading Signets. My early career as a merchant began in Foible's Fair in southern Ascalon. Imagine my shock at my first encounter with the enchanted markets of Ren. Fishmongers display live catch in watery orbs above their tents. Porters enhance their strength with spells, routinely carrying loads that would cripple a pack bull. The finest silks ripple in the air, showing their quality. Songs play themselves on golden lyres. Parents project their voices across the square to find the ear of a wayward child. Yet the real oddity is just how normal all of this seems to them. It makes me wonder, how did magic become so common, so everyday? In Ascalon we apply magic only to things of import, when ordinary means cannot succeed. For the Orrians, magic is like any other tool, to be used at whim and with little concern. I worry at what this means for all. Such great feats with so little caution. Surely, even in the land of the gods, there must be a cost. Now the second one. The gods, in their wisdom, dispersed their magic throughout Tyria. Magic was dissipated, so that none might be too tempted by its power. We know that we can draw and contain magic through intense study and the use of certain materials, signets, and also with the blessing of the Six. Have the Orrian people simply internalized these lessons? Is the land they are so magical that all are born with the ability to use magic without the need for education? My theory will require more research. The most interesting part for me was the description of the enchanted markets of Ren, and actually in the press kit for Guild Wars 3 is a concept art of a market. So very cool to compare it, but sadly the mentioned watery orb with fish inside is not visible here. What a missed opportunity, but yeah, still cool. I will put a link of the press kit in the description, so check it out yourself and look at the nice, beautiful concept art. Next we are in Siren's Landing at Abaddon's Reliquary. Here we can get the parables of the gods. Interesting for us is the parable of Abaddon, page 127. The other pages are just like a comment from someone later in time. So yeah, not these. Let me show you how to get the book first. First you need to do the Master Storyteller achievement. Then you need to talk to this Priest of Abaddon here to unlock the Storyteller Abaddon achievement. So let's start to read it. This sheet is titled the same as the other parables, but it looks like a copy. The paper is an ancient parchment and it hasn't been as weathered. And thus Ara was built, sector by sector, in honor of the gods. It rose into the clouds and sank deep into the ground. The people of Orr decorated it with gold and gems befitting the gods who protected them. The gods were pleased, and so it came to pass that the gods came to Orr and made it their home. With the gods came artifacts, relics, and secret knowledge, and the gods wished for a safe place to store these treasures. Abaddon, god of secrets, knowledge and magic, designed a set of reliquaries to hold these priceless items. As a gift, he gave one to each of the other gods and created his own as the centerpiece. These reliquaries he connected on a magical grid that illuminated them all. Thus he kept thieves and defilers at bay. This copy of the parables has noted in the margin, written by a modern hand. The most interesting part here was that it rose into the sky and sank into the ground, so there should be some kind of underground as well. in Orr or Orrian in Guild Wars 3. And a lot of gems and a lot of gold, so let's keep an eye on that. Next we are at Melkor's Leap again, at the Wildwood. Here is a mystery that you have already heard about probably. It is the big golden glowing orb. And it's actually a hero challenge. It reads, the Wildwood on the Pirate Peninsula holds an ancient Orrian mystery. An orb wielding great and unknown forces. It has gilded the forest around it and lends a burst of power to any who commune with it. Yeah, that's really all information we can directly get from it. And what I interpret is that this orb was already around when people still lived here. And they already didn't know what it was. Maybe they were studying it or standing around looking at it. So we might see that in Guild Wars 3. I'm looking forward. So, and yeah, that's really all. And there is one event that takes place here. It says drive off the inquest before the channelers drain the orb's energy. It doesn't really give any more information about the orb itself. But there is one thing that I think is a little bit weird. If the event fails, then this golem, the champion, starts going rogue.
Ooh, fantastic! That went just as planned. Well, almost.
The golem says, must protect Orr.
Yeah! Abandon experiment! Back to the lab!
Why does he say that? It feels like the orb took control of the golem and now wants to protect it from the inquest. So maybe the orb is a kind of entity. Maybe the people from Orr could actually talk to it or protect it, whatever. But yeah, anyway, that's just speculation. I'm looking forward to discover it in Guild Wars 3. And that's already it for this video. I will look around more, and if I find more stuff, I will make another video. So, see you soon.